I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, how's everyone doing today? Thank you guys for coming. My name is Terrence Cruz, aka Digital Reselling King. I am so excited today about what we have in place for those who are going to be joining. I really appreciate what you guys are doing today. You guys could be watching a football game. You guys could be doing a lot of things, but nonetheless, you are here with me. So I definitely want to appreciate you for coming. Also, too, want to make sure I respect your time. We're not going to be long, but I do have a amazing individual who is invited today that's going to be sharing a little bit of their story of how they literally turned their noodles into pasta and their tuna into lobster. I like to say it like that because it's an amazing story. I love this individual, a great guy, great friend of mine. As a matter of fact, one of the individuals who literally told me about this opportunity that I've literally been taking advantage of this platform, and it's changing my family as well, changing my financial situation, and it's getting me in a good financial shape. I mean, a lot of us can be in physical shape, but how many of us out here are in financial shape? You know, with the cost of living being sky high, with inflation being as high as it is, and things of that nature, we have to have some type of passive income in which we can kind of like make on top of what we're doing in terms of our jobs and working 40 hours. Some work 50, 60, 80, some work $100 within a period of a pay period. And I know how that is. I've worked those long hours before. I've worked in the oil refineries in California. I've pulled 16, 18-hour shifts. So I know how it is, you guys. I know it's tough out there. And I definitely want to say Happy New Year to all you guys this year. If this is my first time seeing you, Happy New Year. I really want to make sure you guys are starting off in a blessed position. And also, too, in having a great mindset in terms of putting yourself into a position you don't have to apply for. So, again, today we're going to be sharing some benefits for those of you guys. Listen, if you guys know anybody out there that is a truck driver, a CDO driver, if you know anybody out there that does ride sharing, whether it be Uber, Lyft, DoorPost, Uber Eats, any type of ride sharing, this is going to be a specific platform for them. Myself and others that I do know that is involved in ride share. I have a friend here in Las Vegas. He literally leases his own cab. So he's a cab driver, been a cab driver for years. And he's literally trying to find an exit plan out of the situation that he's in where he can literally not put in so many hours at work because he's working like 12, 15-hour shifts. And it's pretty tough. I know it's pretty tough out there. So this platform for today is for those of you guys out here who is you're running a busy life. If you are busy, right? Like if you really don't have too much time to do anything other but get up, shower, get ready, eat, prepare your food, go to work, come home, shower, eat, say hello to the kids, go to bed. Well, this is definitely for you. I have a guest that's going to be on today. His name is Mr. Wesley Hunter, and he's going to be sharing how he took his busy lifestyle, right? A busy lifestyle of hours of ride sharing, literally hours of ride sharing, and how he made a decision to start a online remote business from home. And in 11 days, it literally, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, literally changed his life. So he's going to be coming up a little bit later, but I'm just going to give this little introduction, let you guys know. I'll be back in about 15 seconds, but you guys get ready. Get yourself a pen, get yourself some paper, take some notes. Make sure you share this live with somebody. If you know anybody who's in the ride sharing or truck driving, hey, tell them, come on over. We need them in here because the information we're getting ready to give out, Listen to me. A lot of people don't know this information that you get ready to get. It's almost kind of like it's G14 classified. But nonetheless, we're just going to blow it open so people can get an understanding. We want to hope that in all you're getting, you get an understanding. So please, please get yourself a pencil and paper and be ready to take notes. Get yourself something to drink. You want to get you some Cheez-Its or something to snack on. You can do that. And I'll be back in about 10 seconds and we're going to get started. All right. Thank you, guys. All righty, so let's get started. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, my name is Terrence Cruz. I'm an online remote. I work remotely from home online. I'm a 54-year-old unemployable dad. I've been working online for about 12 years now, and I love it, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. There's a lot of perks. There's a lot of good things that takes place when you become a 1099, which is an independent contractor. And that's something that I basically like to share with people about network marketing, affiliate marketing, digital marketing, whatever it is. But it's also too learning how to put yourself into a position where you don't have to apply for it by working from home, right? So I like to say it like this. You can work a 9 to 5, but what are you doing between your 6 and 10, okay? Now, those are the hours that you need to concentrate on the most because those are your hours. Now, a lot of us, we usually wind down between 6 and 10. We eat, we prepare our food, whatever it is. We spend some time with our kids. We get home, we shower, we get relaxed. And then 9 times out of 10, majority of us get on our telephones. We literally get on our telephones and we just start scrolling. We go through Facebook, we go through TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever your choice of social media it is. You usually spend about an hour. They say you usually spend about an hour to 2 hours just scrolling on your telephone. So today I'm going to share with you, myself and Mr. Hunter, we're going to share with you how you can turn your telephone, literally your telephone into an ATM. Okay. If that's something that you're interested in, do me a favor, put a 1 in the comment. I love to see what it is that you're thinking. I love to see where your mindset is. Okay. And then also too, we're going to get into a couple of things in terms of CDL and ride sharing benefits or having a legal counsel as legal sharing and ride sharing. Now, let me share this real fast before I even go on a little bit. Let me see who we got on. I want to give a shout out to those who are participating today. We got, let me see who we got on here. If you're on here and you're in the comments, go ahead, do me a favor. Put your name. Let me know where you're coming in from. We got Nakia Jenkins in the building. Where's she at? Let's see Nakia. Nakia in the building. Nakia, where you coming in from? Hey, love, how you doing? Appreciate you. Let me know what state you're coming in from, what city you're coming in from, so I can give you guys a shout out. Okay, so anybody else, let me know where you're at. I'm going to definitely give you guys the shout out. Appreciate you guys for giving me your time and coming on. But we're getting ready to get started because I do want to respect you guys' time because I know on the East Coast it's around 8:30, and I know that's the time where you want to be winding down. Okay, so let me just go over a couple of things about ride sharing that a lot of people did not know. I didn't know myself, so I'm going to go ahead and share it with you right now. But let me give you this. I've Googled this, and this is one thing it said about ride sharing. I just want to share this with you really fast. Let me see. Let me get it if I can get it up here. Okay, here we go. So here it is. It says that there are over 1.7 million rideshare drivers in the United States. Just in the United States alone, the number of drivers has fluctuated over time, and the COVID-19 pandemic had a significant impact on this industry. So we do remember in 2020 when Corona or COVID-19 did come, a lot of individuals were literally stuck at home working. Okay, a lot of us were out of our jobs. A lot of us couldn't return back to our jobs due to the COVID-19 or the Corona virus or what so have you. So a lot of us were literally at home, stuck within our jobs, and stuck at home and basically stuck with our kids. I remember a lot of people were going crazy, not able to spend that amount of time with their kids. And boy, when you were able to spend that amount of time with your kids, You really get to see what your kids are made of and basically what you're made of. But nonetheless, there are 1.7 million rideshare drivers just in the United States alone. Now, that's pretty crazy. Now, the thing with Uber is this, and I looked this up because I was always curious about what do you go through when you're an Uber driver? Where it says if an Uber driver gets into an accident, um, if an Uber driver gets into an accident, they may need a lawyer, and especially if they are being blamed for the accident. Now, they have significant injuries or are facing potential legal actions from other parties involved in the crash. A lawyer can help navigate the insurance claim process and protect their rights. Now, this is one thing I want to share with you guys about concerning legal counsel. And it's really no different from life insurance, right? Having a lawyer at your disposal or having access to a lawyer or legal counsel and having life insurance is the same thing. It's not a matter of if you need it. Okay, let's just get that straight. It's not a matter of if you need it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a matter of when you need it. I hope that makes sense. Life insurance or the actual legal counsel for that matter, it's always best to be prepared. It's always best to be in position. There's 5 P's in life we got to learn, right? Proper preparation produces proper performance, right? So a lot of things in life, and as a father, I can tell you as a father, and I know a lot of you out there who are parents, right? I can tell you that life is about preparation. You got to be prepared for things. You got to always have money in your pocket in case you get a flat, or something happens on your car, your time belt breaks. It's like you got to always have a cushion in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's financially, whether it's assurance, right? Like life insurance in case something happens to you, right? And you're in the hospital, you can't really fend for yourself, or you can't really take care of your family. That's where your unemployment insurance comes in. Like people don't realize like how important unemployment insurance is, right? Something happens to you or your home, right? You're renting in your home and something happens, you slip, you're hurt. Maybe your banister breaks or something weird happens. Well, that's why renter's insurance is important. So insurance is assurance. Okay, I like to say that. So it's not that I'm selling insurance, right? I'd rather share with you assurance because assurance is something you can raise your hand because you're sure, right? Now, how many times have us out here been in a position, right? A grievance with somebody, maybe a disappointment or whatever it may be. And maybe it was at a store, maybe you were treated wrongly, maybe with your landlord, you were treated unjustly or something like that. How many of you actually said, you know what, I'm going to contact my lawyer and you will hear from my lawyer? And then go and storm out, get in your car, and then start your car, start driving off, and you realize, guess what? You don't even have a lawyer. that happened. That happened to me recently, right? It happened to me recently. I got into agreements with somebody at like a store, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with the management and this supervision. I'm just going to contact my lawyer. So I storm up out of there. Yeah, you guys will hear from me. Yeah, you're going to hear from me. And I got in the car, and as I was driving off, I'm saying to myself, I don't even have a lawyer. I don't have access to a lawyer, and guess what? My lawyer wouldn't even want to pick this case up because I'm just in my feelings right now, right? So this is why I like to advocate the fact that, listen, as CD drivers and rideshare owners, I was a truck driver for years, and I've been in situations, ladies and gentlemen, where I was ticketed, right? I was in another state. Literally, I want to say I was in Kentucky, and I got a ticket in Kentucky. And lo and behold, when that time came to pay the ticket, guess what? I literally had to spend money to fly to Kentucky to go to court and was found guilty and had to pay a fine and then fly all the way back home. And I remember that time I was saying to myself, man, I didn't have a lawyer. I couldn't find a lawyer. I couldn't find anybody to represent me. And that's what this opportunity is basically helping people in a position where you're prepared, right? Life is about being prepared, right? If you stay ready, you'll never have to get ready. And when you get to my age, when you get to the 50s and you're a father and a grandfather and things of that nature, you always want to be prepared for what the unexpected is, right? You want to be prepared for what the unexpected is. So, again, so let's go here. We got Nakia. Look at this. Nakia says she's in Colorado. I literally just left Colorado like last Wednesday. I was in Colorado last Wednesday, right? And Superman says is that he said the problem is prospects. You got to get prospects. Well, that's true, but the thing is this: when you're dealing with people and you're sharing a platform, right? You want to give people an offer they can't refuse, right? Like everyone, it's crazy. Everyone knows they need life insurance, but how many people get it? You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you can have a platform or a product that's not necessarily in demand. Do you guys remember when COVID came? Do you guys remember the outpour? Do you guys remember what became gold? I'll tell you. You guys remember toilet paper became gold? Remember when COVID came? People were buying toilet paper. I was blown away. I was like, why are people buying so much toilet paper? I mean, you would think that they were buying water and non-perishable items. No, people were losing their minds behind toilet paper. You understand me? Literally losing their minds behind toilet paper. You remember that, Nakia? Who remembers that? Put a 1 in the chat. You remember people were buying toilet paper by the drones. I saw a guy come out of Sam's Club, you guys. This guy had a cart with toilet paper tall as I was. And I was saying to myself, how much crap could you crap? Like, what's the purpose? What's the purpose of all that toilet paper? That's crazy. But nonetheless, certain things come into demand. So now that we have in 2025, guess what, you guys? I don't know if you know about this, but tomorrow at 8:15 a.m. Pacific time, 11:15 Eastern time, guess what happens? Does anybody know what happens tomorrow at 11:15 Eastern time? Put it in the chat if you know what happens tomorrow at 11:15 Eastern time. Let me see how sharp you guys are. Let me see how sharp you are. What goes on tomorrow at 11:15? Can anybody tell me? Because I'll tell you if you don't know, okay? I'll tell you if you don't know. What goes on tomorrow? Oh. We got Nakia. She already said it. Tomorrow is the inauguration, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow is the day that President Trump is sworn into office. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to talk about what's going to happen or if anything is going to happen, but I'm going to tell you this. If you are not prepared for the things that's going to take place, okay, when President Trump, and I pray for him, I really do. It's like, the president is like, let me explain something to you. The president is like an airline pilot, right? You can only pray he go get this airplane up and pray they go get that airplane down. You don't know what they going through. You don't know what's on the pilot's mind. Like, he can literally lose it with all of us on this airplane, right? If he feel like he don't want to live no more, guess what? We're going with him. He has control over the whole plane. So, again, what do we want to do? We want to get what? We want to get imposter, right? We want to begin to do what? He said we want to pray, right? We want to pray. You mean there's a lot of things that Mr. Trump wants to do. A lot of them are good. Some of them are questionable. But, every president has some good and some questionable moments in their lives nonetheless. So that's just how that is. But let me go over this real fast about the ride sharing situation. Now, there's 5 things that we're going to talk about today. Okay. But moreover, what I want to do is let me see if it's time yet, because I know Mr. Hunter. Yeah, Mr. Hunter is on the line. I want to invite Mr. Hunter up. Mr. Hunter is going to be sharing his story. Okay. I think he has a great story. You guys got to hear this story. Listen, share this live right now. Get as many people as you can get on because especially if you got, and also too, I'll put this out For those of you guys who have rideshare friends, okay, because they got to hear this, right? There are some things I never knew. Like I did not know. I personally did not know, and I don't want to spoil Mr. Hunter's story, so I'm gonna let him tell it. So, and I'm quite sure when he's done, you're going to realize that you didn't know a couple of things either. But I know as a truck driver, I know from a CDL driver, I do know how important it is to have legal counsel. Okay, it's a lot because truck drivers. Let me share something with you about truck drivers that a lot of people don't know. The reason why, and I've heard this from a highway patrol before. I've asked them, why do you guys pull over truckers so much? And guess what he told me? He said, because truckers' license is their livelihood. They have to have their license in order to operate trucks. And when we give them tickets, they pay them. Truckers can't afford to have a moving violation or a warrant or a failure to appear in court. So they, a lot of CHPs, they literally target truck drivers from time to time, depending on what state you're driving in, how fast you're moving, how you're moving about throughout in and out of traffic, and they literally like to ticket truck drivers because truck drivers, they need their license. It's their livelihood. So you can become a target as a truck driver. Now, the thing about truck drivers is this. Your very CDL license is also your vehicle license, meaning when you're not in a truck and you're driving a car, do you know if you get a speeding ticket in the car, that affects your truck driving record? Did you guys know that? Like if you get into an accident in a car, it affects your truck driving record. So truck drivers have to be over cautious and super attentive as to where they're driving, how fast they're driving, and things of that nature. Now I was just informed that those who are involved in ride sharing, whether it's delivering food, whether it's picking up passengers and taking them from A to B, whatever, well, guess what? They have certain criterias as well, that they have certain rules that they have to go by and live by. They have certain terms and conditions that they got to follow. So that's basically how that is. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's damaging, if that makes sense. Okay, it's pretty damaging if that makes sense. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to see if Mr. Hunter is in the building and see if he's here. We're going to get Mr. Hunter on. I got to go ahead and get this screen right and make sure I can share this screen so he can get on to it. I'm going to go this one right here. And then I'm going to, let me see if I can get it right here. Hopefully this, because I've never done it before. This is my, I see you on here, Cat Daddy. There you go. There, Mr. Hey, they call him Mr. Hunter, but I was told they call you Mr. Him in China. They call you Mr. Him. How you doing, Mr. Hunter? How you doing today, buddy?
Living the dream twice after Norway.
Wonderful. Well, we got a couple of people on here. I know we got Nakia on here. Well, she's a blessing. We got my man Superman on here. You guys want to give a big shout out to Mr. Hunter real fast. It's all gravy. I'll go ahead and send that out to you. But Mr. Hunter, man, is a blessing. He actually called me and shared this opportunity with me that we're going to be sharing with you all today. But I would like for Mr. Hunter to actually just basically share kind of like his life in the ride sharing platform and some of the things he's been through. And like I said, he told me a story one time and I was blown away. I was like, what? Like, you guys go through stuff like that? And sure enough, it was just different. So it's all good. So he's going to go ahead and share that. Okay. And then also too, share what it is that changed his life. Like, what was it that when he was able to just finally throw those keys on the counter and say, you know what, I'm done. This is it. I'll plant my flag, So everyone here, man, we got to find something in life where we can plant our flag. Because remember, a plant does not grow unless it's planted. right? And the most important thing about making passive money from home or even in your job, you want to find something that you can plant yourself and state your claim. But Mr. Hunter, go ahead. The floor is yours. Go ahead and share your little story in terms of ride sharing and some of the things you had to go through, because it blew me away when you first told me. I never knew that ride share drivers go through what they go through.
All right, thanks. So the lead in there, I'll take it this way. Being in the rideshare industry, the food delivery industry, does definitely have its challenges. You know, I can say that personally, I've been a fan of Legal Shield and the products that they've offered just as a driver alone. What do I mean by that? I mean, I think that the services that we offer is something that every driver needs. And the reason why I say that, because you look at it like this. I'm getting echo feedback, so I'm trying to stall as a can. But we live on the road, and the road is totally unpredictable. Whether it be your driving, somebody else's driving, statistics show that more accidents, happen, and so more lives are lost on the road than anywhere else. That being said, it's a constant challenge every single day when we get in those vehicles and we head out. It's not just a hamburger delivery. In some cases, you can say it's almost a risk of life. When rush hour happens and everybody's headed home, most people are headed home to relax. They've had a long day. They're tired. They've been up all day, right? We live in that every day. We're navigating through that. And a lot of times we're moving at a rapid pace because we're still trying to make money. We don't adjust our schedule based on rush hour. All of these things being said, Legal Shield offers us an opportunity to have an attorney in the palm of your hand. For that moment when something happens, right? It's a 24-hour availability, 24/7 availability. And we're out there all times of day and night. And, and that can especially be true for women. Because let me be honest, they don't always just send you to the nicest places. It's not just McDonald's and bring a hamburger 2 blocks away. Sometimes, I had a delivery, one of my recent deliveries, like literally it was, 45-minute drive up into the little mountain, the little hills right here. And it took me down the wrong path of a dark road in the middle of nowhere, and it ended with no trespassing signs. And there's nowhere to go. Your signal is lost. It's the dark of night. And sometimes that can be very challenging, when you're out there on your own. My point is, you never know what type of situation you're walking into, and so having an attorney on call. I remember one time I was out, it was about 2:30 at night, driving down the street, minding my business in the middle of a delivery. A guy in front of me hits the embankment, right? It was some construction happening there. He hits the embankment. When he hit the embankment, his left front tire, the rim, everything, down to the axle, the entire rim, the tire, all popped off and smashed right into the front of my BMW. Boom! It wasn't my driving, but the moment still occurred. And let me just be clear. When these moments happen, DoorDash has no interest. When I called them to explain what had just taken place, the only question they had for me is, well, sir, are you able to complete the delivery? And I told them, I said, well, no, it's 2 miles away. My car is ruined. They said, okay, fine. We'll go ahead and cancel the order. Right? So here I am now at the side of the road trying to figure out, what do I do? And then, the guy, when I'm trying to speak to him, he had 2 guests in the car with him. And all of a sudden, I don't speak no English. So what do? Right? Of course, we had to call the police. The police came out, and same thing. The police couldn't communicate with him, because he couldn't speak English. So here we are. My point is, you never know when something happens. I can even remember an order one night I was doing, and the lady was just hot. She had been texting me for like 15 minutes. Where is my pizza? What's taking you so long? Where are you? And I'm like, I already had a bad feeling about the order and really didn't want to deliver it. Now, remember, take me out of the equation and put a female in this situation.
Wow.
Right? When I arrived to the location, the lady comes out the house with an attitude. I hope my blinking pizza is still hot. Right? This is how she greeted me. But more importantly, my attention is now focused on her.
Yeah.
Okay? Because he had a big guy come out the door behind her, and he's standing in front of the door.
Oh my goodness.
With a bit of an attitude. My attention being focused on her, I'm not looking where I'm walking. There was a separation in the concrete which caused me to fall. I tripped, I fell. My natural instinct was to reach out and save the piece. Right? Which led to my elbows, my knees, everything gets smashed. So now she's like, oh, now you dropped my blanket food? The guy comes off the porch. Long story short, she was like, well, why don't you just give me the pizza? Because she done messed it up anyway. And I told her, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Look, I got back in my car, poured off, and reported. DoorDash did not care. Here's the point that I made. Having legal services in that moment, especially separation of concrete, right, it would have been an opportunity to, it's a home. I could have sued her insurance.
Yes.
See? You never know when something happens, and it's good to have that kind of service available. So my point is, what legal shield offers us is an opportunity to talk to each other. You never know when something is something. But it's nice to get on the phone and say, hey, this just happened. I'm not sure what to do. Imagine if you had an uncle, right, who was an attorney, who you can get on the phone and say, hey, this just happened. What do you think I should do? The world of law is broad, but it's very deep, and you never know the answer. You just know what you're feeling. You know what you're thinking, but things happen out there. So rideshare is definitely challenging, and just like you talked about with the CDLs, the truck drivers. Every day that we get on that road is a challenge to our lifestyle, because when we do get pulled over, the officer doesn't care that you're delivering a hamburger. All he cares is you didn't stop completely at that stop sign. You were moving faster than you should have. Now, imagine the normal citizen is trying to keep from having what I think it's 3 tickets in 2 years or whatever. That's the normal citizen. But that normal citizen isn't spending 3,000-4,000 driving 3,000-4,000 miles a month. See, they're just headed home, headed to work, headed home. They have social gathering. So they might only drive, well, let's just be generous and say they're driving 800 miles a month. We're on the road more, but we don't get any mercy when it comes to those points on our driving record. So what happens when we lose our driver's license? They don't say, well, he drives more often. So instead of 3 points or whatever it is, preventing him from having his license, we're going to go ahead and give him 6. We take the same risk. We're out there. We get no mercy. And when we get that ticket, they don't give us a discount because we're a rideshare driver. They don't say, well, he was delivering a $4 hamburger, so let's go ahead and make the ticket $60. No. You're going to pay that same $300-400 that everybody else has to pay. And that means I got to get back on the road, and I got to drive for a few more days just to get the money to pay off that ticket. How nice is it to have an attorney that can show up for you? Let me show you. I got one right now, literally right now, that I'm dealing with. And it was a silly situation, and I'll paraphrase it just so people can understand. I was behind the big rig. Big rig is in front of me. And like most people, when you get behind a big rig, you want to get into the next lane, right? Faster moving lane of traffic. There's 3 cars behind me. So I'm 1 and it's 3 behind me. The one in the 4th car peels off into the next lane and moves with the next lane of traffic. 3rd car does the same. Second car does the same. Now, I'm in my BMW, and it's a real bright colored BMW. Now, when you merge into the next line of traffic, you have to speed up a little bit just so that you don't create a pause for the car that's already in that lane, which is what I did. I slid over, I hit the accelerator, gave me a certain burst of speed, and CHP flashes me. Now, when I got pulled over, I couldn't believe it. Like, really? I mean, like, I thought it was somebody else. But I pulled over. I'm saying, hey, the guy comes to the car. First thing he wants to know is this your vehicle? Well, yes. It's a bright colored BMW, right? Real nice looking car. How long have you had it? I don't know. I've had it a couple of years. How much did you pay for it? So now I'm like, well, wait a minute. Is this about, did you pull me over about the vehicle? You know, is it registered in your name? Well, yes. Where's the registration? I said, you know, did I commit a speeding violation, or did you just want to inquire about the car? You know, did I commit a traffic violation? He says, no, you were speeding. I said, well, I don't think I was speeding, sir. You know, I mean, I literally merged into the lane and hit a burst of speed just to keep from holding traffic up. Long and short of it, he gives me a ticket, right? I did ask him for some mercy. He says, I don't give anybody mercy. And I said, well, why did you pull me over? He said, because you're the one I caught. I told him, I said, everybody did the same thing I did. He said, but you're the one I pulled over. All right, fine. So anyway, I gave you that scenario just so you understand. This was a ticket I wanted to fight. So here's what I learned about traffic, and I didn't know this. If you want to fight a ticket, you have to pay the entirety of the ticket. So if it's $480, you must pay the $480 up front, right? Before you go to court. If you win, they'll give you the money back. Okay? Now, when I spoke to an attorney about it, he explained to me he could represent me, dispute the ticket, and that if he shows up and then the officer doesn't show up, they would dismiss the ticket and so forth. So he gave me, but now it was $700 to represent me for the ticket, right? So, okay. I said, wait a minute, and I still got to pay the $480 up front? The answer was no. If you're fighting the ticket and you're represented by counsel, you no longer have to pay the ticket up front, right? You only have to pay the ticket if you lose, and they'll give you structured payments. But if you go for it, then no structured payments, they need the whole money up front. So I thought about that. Like, that's a cool little system they got. So how does that tie into Legal Shield? Well, with Legal Shield, we do have coverage there. And we can have an attorney who will show up one day. He will file a petition. He will go into court one day. So guess what? If I caught a ticket and I had a Legal Shield membership, I would not have had to pay the upfront, and I would not have had to pay the $700. Look at that. And still could have fought the same ticket. And if I lost, then all I would have was just money to make. So what we offer, the value of what we share, is really beyond phenomenal. And when you look at it, you know, I was looking at something last night, and I'm just going to paraphrase it real quick. It's like, how much is that worth? How much is it worth to have an attorney on call 24/7 for anything that crosses your mind? Anything that your family goes through, like literally, you walk into a store and you're disrespected by the employees there. To be able to have an attorney to talk to at any given time, to say, okay, you know what, I'm about to buy a car, but before I make the purchase, I want to have somebody go over the contract. Or, hey, you know, my son is about to be evicted, but I don't know if this is, you know, in accordance to law. Can you look at this contract? How much, as an attorney, how much would you charge me for that? Right? And let's not say by the hour, because we know that attorneys can be high by the hour. But I'm going to say, I'm going to be a client of yours, right? And I want to pay you monthly. I'm asking you, what would you charge me to represent my family for any and everything that I may come up with? And I want you on the phone. I don't want to speak to a secretary. I don't want to speak to your staff. I want to get you on the phone anytime, day or night. If I have an accident or whatever, how much is that worth? Right? And I'm looking in the chat too. I'm looking to see somebody. Give me an example. How much would you charge for something like that? Give me an
So how
example.
much would you charge? But I'll tell you what. A nationwide average is $307 an hour for a lawyer. So I wouldn't want to pay $307. That's for sure. Like that's out my budget.
Okay, so I'm just saying, my law firm is going to represent you on any given matter. Look at as many documents as you want me to. Show up for court for you if you do get a traffic ticket. I'm going to literally answer any legal question you pose to me, right? And I'm going monthly. What would you charge me? What would be a reasonable monthly fee?
I would personally say about $150, $200 at least.
$150, $200.
Yeah, and that's my budget. But I would say about $150, $200. Yeah, about a month. Yeah.
When you look at the value of what we offer, because that's what we're offering. When you look at the value of what we offer, for as low as you can, basically $50, $1 a day, right? With the rideshare add-on and just the basic package. I mean, this is what we're offering people. So the value is certainly there. So that's my point, right? So all things considered, and you know, I don't know if you do want me to segue right into what it did for my life, or did you want to come back and offer?
Actually,
you muted yourself. I can't hear you. You muted yourself.
Yeah. I'm going to. Yeah, you can go ahead and segue into that if you can. That'd be great.
Okay. So all things considered, right? For me, it's more. That's what I was looking for. I mean, I'm a network marketer. I've been in a lot of different companies, you know, but I'm a baby in this space. Let me be clear. I'm really a baby in this space compared to most people who have achieved the ranks that I've achieved. What does that all mean? You know, I don't know. I found myself leading my team into a lot of different opportunities that were mostly startups. You catch the vision, you catch the dream, you hear what's being said. Positioning matters. Get in now, be the first, right? And at a time, it's like any other business, though. Most small businesses have a 3 to 5 year lifespan. Most don't make it over that hump, right? Well, I learned quite quickly that's true of network marketing too. No matter how phenomenal the product, people get caught up in the hype of things, right? We see it all the time. Something launches and everybody's like, oh my God, this is going to be my turn. It's going to be my turn. And people get caught up in the hype of things. I've been guilty of that, right? I sit with the visionary, I look and sit with the staff, and I listen to what they have to say. And you kind of get caught in that. You say, you know what? I like where he's going. I like his ideal or her ideal. And you latch onto that and you make it happen. Now, don't get me wrong. I can't say that I've ever really struggled in network marketing. I've been blessed, you know. I did. I started hitting high ranks within 4 months in the industry. But if I'm honest, where I've run into my biggest challenges is I'm learning too. I'm a student of the industry. But I would get in these opportunities and then I look and I don't feel I'm leading others to a place of success. See, I realize there are hurdles in place that others aren't so easily able to climb. That's a problem for me. I'm really a people person, and I'm always focused on the bottom of a compliment. Like, how can I help the people at the bottom? That's so important to me. Now, don't get me wrong. People have to participate in their own rescue. But more importantly, you want it to be an achievable goal. Not to say that any goal is not achievable, but when I looked at this and knowing the national statistics, that the average person can only recruit 2.2 people. That's the statistics, right? So what we have found in given years, in the last few years, is a lot of companies have gone to this model of 3 and free. You bring 3, your subscription is free. You bring 3, your subscription is free. Just bring 3. Well, what is that saying? If you stop and look at it from that viewpoint, what are they saying? It all adds to the stability of the company, giving you that free minute. If 2.2 is the average, then that means the average person can recruit 3. So how does that benefit them, though? it benefits the company and it adds to the breakage that the company receives. But how did it really benefit the people? All of these things considered. When Bless called me with this opportunity, there were several points that I looked at. That was the one. Not on in Legal Shield, there is a way where you can set up the based on the amount that people purchase, which can vary, But my point is, there is a way that you can build in a way that with just 3 people you can make $1,000. So I'm thinking to myself, wow, now these people who normally have never made a dime can see a pathway forward. This, and a lot of times, might be the first time they ever actually got a check in network marketing. That means anybody can do that. Not the go-getter, not the one who's making the sacrifice, but anybody can do this. Okay? Now, of course, and I'm thinking to myself, money fuels the fire. Even people who normally don't recruit, who's never had any real success, if they get to a point to where they make $1,000, that might turn them up. That might fuel that fire.
That's true. That's true.
That being said, I looked at what would it take for a person to get to a sustainable income? I mean, a life-changing income, a level of respect where, a lot of us, we talk about being 6-figure earners in the industry. That's a big deal. When you get to that margin, you can live off your income. That is a retirement income, right? That's when you can say, you know what? I've achieved the goal. So I'm looking at this comp plan, and he's going over it with me, and I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm like, I've never seen anything like it. You mean there is a way, given on how your organization is structured and what packages people purchase, you can literally get to a 6-figure income with a total team of 30 to 45 people. Like, this is impossible. Usually that takes 500 people or more, okay, in every comp plan I've seen. Now I'm talking about that's to get to a point where you're making $10,000 a month or better. It takes 500 or more people. And then there's usually a leg balance requirement. So if it's 3 legs, 2 legs, how many? Is it a binary? Is it a trinary? You have to have so many on this leg. If it's a trinary, that's your baby legs. So where's you going to really be focusing your energy? Is it this? When I looked at this, there was no leg requirement. You could pretty much build it how you want it as long as you achieve the volume required, right? Which could be done with as little as 30, 45 people. I'm like, this is impossible. This is impossible.
Yeah, I seen the same thing. It kind of blew me away.
Really? And I'm like, so anyway, that's where I was when I decided to join. So Nakia looked it up. Like, what would you pay an average attorney for a month's worth of services? It's $900 to $2,400 a month, right? Yeah, so and I was looking at some of what Superman said too. If you want to take questions, I'll take questions at the end. But I would just say it's a great opportunity. It's a great product, and the comp plan is conducive. Now there is this one challenge that you have is the fact that Legal Shield has been around 52 years. Most people, most of the top network marketers remember it as prepaid legal. A lot of top network marketers started here. So a lot of people feel like they're familiar with what it is. They don't realize it is a new comp plan, nor do they care, right? Let's just be clear. So in some ways you can say, well, it's oversaturated. Well, I don't know if that's true. 2 things. Number one, I like the fact that it's been around 52 years because I know it'll be here next year. Can't say that about a startup, right? So the question then becomes, how do I build it? Who do I go to? You know what the problem is? Most of us go digging right into the same well that we've always dug into. We drag the same people into the next.
That's right.
And then when those people don't want to follow us anymore to a new opportunity, we feel overwhelmed and I don't have anybody. You know what happened? You fell into a comfort zone. Because if you stop and be realistic with yourself, those same people who were with you the last time and the one time before that, you never built beyond it. Because if you had still been recruiting, if you had still been building, if you were still networking and still doing the work, you would have had new voices who were attracted to you, who were willing to hear your voice. But you stopped. A lot of times, and I've seen this so many times, person gets to a level, they brought in 10 people, and they stop and begin to complain about what the other 10 people aren't doing. Right? Or they spend so much time trying to develop those 10 people, pushing those 10 people, and then they end up back complaining about what those 10 people aren't doing. Then they say, this stuff doesn't work. No one said it would be easy, but network marketing is the second highest paid profession in America outside of professional sports. Now, let's use that analogy. Do you think there's football players who just get up on Sunday, put on a uniform, and go out there and make a huge check? No. There's a lot of practice. It's a lot of grueling, push that has to happen before Sunday morning happens. Even before they make the big dollars. This goes back to junior high school. They're pushing their bodies beyond the limits. They're not getting paid at this point. They're in college. They're giving it their all. See, because they understand the value of the long-term life change. Network marketing is a lot the same.
That's true. That's so true.
You may not wake up the first day and have the huge team and make the big check. But think about that kid on that field. That 23-year-old, you stand up and you clap. You're so happy for, oh, look at my baby. You're so happy for him. He signed that contract. Think about this. There's a whole lot of kids that never get to walk on that field. There's a whole lot of kids that never make it to the NFL. Right? But those who do have earned it because they stuck to it. They believed in it. It wasn't always easy. And sometimes they might have lost faith in themselves. They go out there and get a hit that rings their bell. You know what I'm talking about. It makes you doubt everything you thought you knew about yourself. You have a losing season. It's easy to give up. Network marketing is the same way. It is easy to give up. The fire happens when your back is against the wall. That's when champions are born. What do you do when your whole team has decided they've had enough? What do? Do you take off your helmet too and get on the bus and go cry and hold hands? Or do you go back on that field? Do you push them? Do you say, no, we're not going for this, let's go? You go out there and you lead by example. You leave everything on the field, and hopefully that inspires your teammates. If not, that's fine. You get up and you show up every day. You push them in practice. You go beyond the edge, because just like the bad news bears, it's not always predicted who's going to win. The fire inside can change your life. And that's what I say about network marketing. So when I saw this opportunity, I didn't just join. I didn't say, well, I'm going to go ahead and give this a try. Let me see if it works. All of those are doubt moments. And I always say, faith and fear can't live in the same space. The moment you say, try, let me see if it works, you're not in. See, I'm not going to go out on that field and say, well, let's go and try to win, guys. No. You go all in or you stay off the field. Get out there. Let's go. Leave it all on the field, because only then can you if it works for you. All right. That's all I got. I appreciate the moment to share. Hope y'all got it.
Listen, let me share something with you. Let me go ahead and mute his mic, because I know it was echoing. Let me share something with you, just in light of what he said. And let me go over this real fast with because I did see a comment, and I definitely feel what you're going through. So he says, Superman said, let me see, where is it at? Where is it at? He says, oh, that's Nakia. Oh, that's Nakia. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go here. Nakia, she says something. Oh, Superman, there it is. He says this. This is what it is. Okay, so here is a good problem right here. He says, I can't find 3 people. Okay, that's Guess what? That's a lot of people's problem, Superman. You're not the only one going through that. But let me share something with you. Okay. And I'll love to, and it's always the same problem with literally every business opportunity out there. Let me share something with you in light of what Wesley was saying. Okay. Now, it's funny. There you go. And let me just share this before I go. He said, what did we say? What did he say? It's Nakia said, it isn't so much about making it relatable. It's finding eyeballs to expose the opportunity. Okay, so here's a perfect example. Okay. As you just heard, Mr. Hunter was sharing about just rideshare, CDL, and rideshare having legal counsel. Okay. That's just one aspect of Legal Shield. Now, what I did was, because I've been marketing for years too, right? I don't approach any when I play football, I never practiced to lose. I'm sorry. I didn't do all them up downs and push ups and crawl in the mud and carry it. I didn't do that to lose, right? When we played on Fridays, our games were cakewalks because the way we practiced like it was a real game. We were full-fledged hitting. It was no breaks. Like we practiced like it was the game. So therefore, when we went to the game, it was a walkthrough. It was like taking candy from a baby, right? It's all in your mindset. So the thing with the three people situation is this.
You muted yourself, Terrace. I don't know if you're still on. Looks like he lost connection. All right, guys. So, yeah, he went offline. I don't know if he's going to come back, but I'm. So here's what I'll say. I'm gonna speak directly to Superman real quick while we wait for Terrace. The thing is, number one, you said you can't find three people, right? I don't. I had to look more to social media and what you do. Okay, here he is.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I apologize for you guys. But again, thank you guys for coming on. Everyone that came on, I really appreciate you guys. Let me go over a couple of things real fast, and then we're going to get to the questioning. Okay, let me go over this really fast if you guys don't mind. Now, there's another thing right here. Now, what you're going to get when you come into the Legal Shield and you're dealing with the CDL and the rideshare, you're going to get five things. You're going to get, number one, you're going to get telephone consultation and legal research. What that means is you're going to receive phone consultation on unlimited numbers of rideshare and delivery legal issues, along with up to 2 hours of legal research per issue. Now, that's really important as a rideshare because, again, sometimes it's not necessarily a case that's taken, but it's the advice that you can get from legal counsel that'll in return later on give you a decision on whether or not it's a go or a not go. It's something you can focus on. It's something you don't have to focus on. But it also keeps you in a position of not only preparation, but knowing what to do. Also, too, you're going to get you're going to get also calls. You're going to get letters, document reviews, right? That's where your provider law firm can review documents up to 15 pages and make phone calls and send letters on your behalf, okay? Another thing you'll also get if you join the opportunity and you take advantage of the CDL and rideshare is you're going to also get IRS audited services, which is something that receives same IRS services described in your legal plan for items included into your Section C's and Section E's of your federal income tax return pertaining to rideshare and delivery income, okay? You're going to get traffic services. Now, this is the one that I guess we all kind of need because I know I need it, where you get legal advice, consultation, and defense for covering movement violations while you're engaged in rideshare and delivering activities. Now, one thing about this actual service here is that I don't know too many people who get pulled over. I literally don't know too many people who get pulled over who really don't want to fight their ticket. I don't know. Like I've been pulled over. Whew, one time about 3 years ago for going 31 in a 30 miles an hour zone. Okay, out here in Las Vegas, they got a lot of 30 miles an hour zones. And I'm gonna tell you another thing about Las Vegas. Las Vegas put cones up all over the city because you know why? Because the penalties are double in a construction zone. Now you got cones all over the city, but you ain't gonna find too many workers out there with hats on. So a lot of people beat their cases just by driving the street they got the tickets on and showing that there are no workers there. Like Las Vegas literally just they will cone the whole city. So wherever you at, if you get a moving violation, you already know that the fine doubles if you're in a construction zone. So that's literally how Las Vegas makes their quotas is by pulling people over and doubling their fines. So out here, you definitely want to have a lawyer. Now, I fought the case. Now, to mind you, it was only about $37 for the ticket, but I have a clean record. I don't want nothing on my record. And I was only doing 31 and the 30. And the cool thing about it is I was going downhill. Come on now, really? You're going to stop me and give me a ticket for doing 30? I can see if I was doing 37, 38, 39, 36 or something like that. I was doing 31. I was doing 1 miles over 30. You gave me a ticket. So I didn't want to pay the ticket. I pleaded innocent. That ticket ended up costing me $571. All I had to do was pay $37. It cost me $571. And I did look for a lawyer, but I couldn't get no one to represent me. If I had known about this, like if I had known about Legal Shield then, oh my, I would have rushed the lawyer the money. Because my thing was, I just wanted to beat it, right? I just wanted to see the look on the cop's face when I beat the case. Because I sat there and told, I'm going to beat this. I've never had a moving violation. Like I've never had a ticket in a car. I've had a ticket in a truck, but I've never in my life had a ticket in my car until 3 years ago. And I was so upset because it's like the guy that was in front of me was hauling butt, but you got me on the radar. So no one agrees to a ticket. Like, oh, I was wrong, I'm going to pay it. Stop it. Nobody does that, right? So for this service alone, the traffic service alone, this is the one this is why I wanted legal service. Now, I don't plan on getting pulled over. I don't plan on getting none of that, right? But when it happens, I definitely want to be ready for that, okay? And then also, too, you can receive 25% discount, right, on all of your provided law firm corporate hourly rate for additional legal services that is not included covered by this plan. So that's a good thing as well, because there might be something that you're encountering that is not necessarily covered by the plan, but it's good to know you could get a 25% discount through the law's corporate hourly rate, right? So that's a big discount, knowing that most of these averages, the hourly rate for a lawyer is $370. You get 25%, ladies and gentlemen. That's $75 off. That's literally $75 off of $300. So you're looking at $225 for legal services that would have cost you $300 and something dollars. So that's how that works. So it's an amazing plan. The reason why I choose the CDL and the rideshare plan, this is what I promote. This is my lane, right? In Legal Shield. Now, there's a lot of things that Legal Shield can do. I'm still learning them because Legal Shield covers so many things that you got to go through some schooling for that, right? You got to go through some schooling for that. I'm here now. Sorry. Okay. So with that being said, I like to focus on the CDL and the ride sharing because I was a truck driver first and foremost, and then secondly, living here in Vegas, we have a plethora of ride share and Uber Eats and things of that nature. You get cabs. It's just how Vegas is structured, how the city, the infrastructure of the city is. So there are parking lots that's full of Ubers. There are certain parking lots that, like the Thomas and Mack, which is the UNV parking lot, that's used for nothing but Uber drivers. I mean, hundreds of cars. So you say, so Superman said, well, how do I find my people? Well, you can find them in groups, Superman. Like I literally just Googled today. I was on the phone with a friend named Raven that's in the group with us. I said, Raven, let me show you something. Go to Uber. And he went to Uber. I said, look how many people were in this group. Blew him away. I said, 22 million people in Uber. There's your leads right there. Right? I'm not looking for somebody. I'm not going to be looking for no one. They're going to be looking for me because I have what they need. Remember, we have something that people need, right? And it's not a point of if they need it. It's a point of when they need it. So we're dealing with people that have to understand that preparation is life, right? Everyone alive today knows they need life insurance, but who got life insurance? How many people have life insurance? Honestly, how many people you know got life insurance? Exactly. Why? Because everybody think they're going to live forever. Well, we're dealing with people who have to make a decision, Superman, in terms of do they want to be prepared, right? So if you can share the direness of being prepared, right? Whether it's will and trust, whether it's divorce, annulments, all the things that Legal Shield offer. If it's grievances with your landlord, contract agreements. I mean, there's a ton of things that they offer. You got to figure out, okay, well, where are these people located? Where are these targeted people located? Well, they're located all over the world. I mean, Facebook alone has like, is it 3/4 of the world, like almost 6 billion monthly active users just on Facebook alone. So it's just a matter of telling your story, getting your story out. So this is one of the stories I'll have. I created myself a Facebook group, which is you guys now see. It's called CDL Rideshare Legal Services. You can find me on Facebook. If you can, go there and join that group for me. I appreciate it. But nonetheless, this is the lane that I choose because in this lane, you guys, Superman says, I'm in Las Vegas. Okay, there you go. So we'll link up together and I can show you a couple of things. Believe me, I know. So you already know I'm here in Las Vegas as well. So with that being said, I love the CDL. I love the rideshare. Will I ever come across customers who want to take advantage of having legal counsel for traffic violations, a divorce, annulment, somebody who might want to will it, like, for example, if I want to promote will and testament, I'm obviously not looking for anybody that's 19 and 20 and 21. You can't sell a will to somebody who's 19, 20, or 21. Why? Because they feel they're going to live forever. So obviously, who is your target? If you're going to be dealing with people who want to create wills, obviously you're looking for parents. You're looking for husbands and wives with kids. You're looking for blue collar workers. You're looking for people that are 45 and 50 and up, right? You're looking for people who know they only got about 25, 30 years of life left and it's a wrap, right? So you're looking for those that's in their 50s, right? And then you're looking for people who are what? Who are serious about taking care of their family, right? There's a lot of people out here that they live their life and they leave their last burial expenses to their family. And I think it's very disrespectful, right? But my thing is that I don't want my family, if God forbid anything happened to me, I don't want my family to break themselves trying to send off my last wishes. Like, that's what I have life insurance for, right? That's the reason why I have life insurance is so you can, go ahead, cremate me, whatever, and you guys got money to live or something of that nature, but that's my mindset. Everyone don't have that same mindset, right? Is finding the people who have the mindset. And how do you do that? By getting your story out, right? By sharing your story or sharing what it is that you offer. Like, I believe this offer is something that no one can actually not take advantage of. This is an amazing offer. But again, it's only for those who really feel as though that they're going to need it in the long run, right? I mean, I'm from South Central. Like, I think every gang member should have this, period. You want to live your life out there. You want to do what you're doing. Like I remember watching Scarface. You guys remember Tony Montana when he made all that money? First thing he did is he gave a duffel bag to a bail bondsman, and he gave another duffel bag to a lawyer. You guys remember that? Why? Why did he give a duffel bag full of money to a bail bondsman? And then why did he give a duffel bag money to a lawyer? Because he understood the life he was living. So his thing was, if I'm going to live this life, I got to make sure that I'm protected. I got to make sure that if I go to jail, I can get out. I got to make sure if I got to represent myself in court, I got a lawyer, right? He had money they gave to a doctor. I got to make sure if something happens to me, I got a doctor, right? It's not about insurance. It's not about insurance, you guys. It's about assurance, right? So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who don't necessarily need insurance. They need assurance, right? So that's where we're at with that, okay? So it's real simple stuff. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's a matter of really exposing yourself, getting yourself out there, getting your offer out there. Remember, Legal Shield has been Legal Shield for the past 52 years. Legal Shield could be Legal Shield without you, right? The object is to know who you are, what you can offer somebody, how you can help them, and not only that, save money. With that being said, at the thing. So if anybody got any questions, you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and put them in the chat. If what I want to do is share, if anybody is interested and want to know more in terms of getting a membership with Legal Shield, or you say, hey, you know what? I heard Mr. Wesley. Not only did he join Legal Shield, but also too, he's in a position as an executive director where he built himself he put himself in a position he didn't have to apply for, right? He could have been still putting 18, 16, 14 hours in with Uber Eats or DoorPost or whomever he was working for. But you know what? He says, you know what? I know people who I can help in this area. I can help people with this legal services, because again, you don't know that people need legal services until you need legal services. It's real easy to share how important it is to need legal services when you need legal services. So the object is to first and foremost be a product of the product. I love legal services. I've always needed legal services. I've been in prepaid legal back in the early 2000s, like before it was Legal Shield, I was doing prepaid legal. As a matter of fact, it was hot, super hot back then, because identity theft was a really, really, really big thing. Like people's IDs and information was being stolen. So prepaid legal really blew up on that. And I was one of them. I wanted to protect my name and my accounts and my business and things of that nature. But now it's all changed, and the compensation plan is amazing. So those of you guys out there, if you want to make some extra passive money at home, and you're looking for a place to plant your flag, you're looking for a place to plant yourself and grow, well, you're looking at a business that is given a great, amazing grade by the Better Business Bureau. It's been around for 52 years. It's not going anywhere. I'm 54, so it's been around for 2 years after I was born, and it's still around. It's trading. I'm quite sure it's trading on the stock, things of that nature. And guess what, you guys? It falls under cybersecurity because it can actually help you in the dark web, things of that nature. And if you don't know anything about cybersecurity is a new platform that's coming out, whereas it's literally recession proof. So if you look up what businesses are be recession proof in 2034, is going to tell you digital marketing, cybersecurity, and some other things. So this kind of falls up under the umbrella of cybersecurity. It was something I've always wanted to say. I always wanted to do cybersecurity. I just didn't want to go to school for it. Like, I don't have a time to get a degree and go to school for cybersecurity. What is it out there that falls under that criteria or under that umbrella that I could take advantage of in terms of being an affiliate and make money by sharing the coverage that people might need in life? So again, if that's you, be sure to contact me. You can go through my email at tc@sayyeslifestyle.com. Again, that's T as in Tom, C as in cat, at sayyeslifestyle.com, or you can follow me on my Facebook, or you can follow me on my YouTube. That those who are on YouTube, just leave a description and leave a little comment. I'll be more than happy to get at you in my earliest convenience. I want to thank all of you for joining. I appreciate you. It's been about an hour and 15 minutes, so I definitely want to close with that. So, let me just go ahead and say, listen, good, better, best, never let it rest until your good gets better and your better is your best. Never forget my motto: put yourself in a position you don't have to apply for it by choosing today what's going to satisfy you tomorrow. Okay, those of you guys, Superman, make sure you get at me through my email, tc@sayyeslifestyle.com, sayyeslifestyle.com. And we can hook up sometime this week and or get on a call or whatever, and I can kind of help you in terms of getting your three or guide you in which direction we want to start focusing on our target, if that makes sense. All right. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Okay. Thank you for coming on. I believe it was Nakia. Thank you for coming on. Again, thank you, Mr. West, Mr. Hunt. Appreciate you, Huntley, for sharing your what you've been through in terms of rideshare. Thank you so much. That was an amazing, powerful story, first and foremost. Okay. And I thank you for even giving me the opportunity by sharing and inviting me to a Legal Shield and let me figure out what it is in court in Legal Shield, where I can actually put myself in a position and actually help my family out, because you can will this to your kids. And that's something that really stuck out to me, is that I'm able to grind and make a lifestyle or a living. And this is something that I can literally will to my kids. So that means a lot to me, because again, it gives me assurance, you guys. And that's what we're focusing on. So you guys be good, or be good at it. I'll see you guys on tomorrow. Let me see. Tomorrow is Sunday. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'll be going live from my YouTube again. I'll probably have another guest on coming up this Tuesday. I'll probably see if we have a friend by the name of Dominique. I'll probably give her a call, see if we can have her come on and share her story as well. But every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Saturday at 5:30, I'll be going live from my Facebook and YouTube. You all are welcome. You can go to either one, and once you see the profile lit in red, just click on that profile, come on in. Make sure you bring somebody with you. Okay, bring yourself something to drink and snack, and we're going to get to what's getting to. All right, God bless you guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.